Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics: how Y&R's Billy could give Phyllis a second chance. Phyllis' luck may take a turn for the better. Once again, Phyllis is Genoa City's pariah on The Young and the Restless. Her latest deal with Victor to take over Jabot backfired, and now she has everyone hating her. But a certain person may show her some compassion. Key takeaways: Phyllis made a deal with Victor in exchange for Kane's AI software. Phyllis' hopes of running Jabot were dashed when Victor double-crossed her. She's now out of a job, thanks to Victor. Certain ex of Phyllis could come to her rescue. Down, but not out. Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, has certainly made a mess of things. The redhead's quest to regain her title of Genoa City's top businesswoman failed big time. Phyllis betrayed her business partner, lover Kane Billy Flynn, by stealing his AI software. She then used the software to make a deal with Victor Eric Bread. In exchange for the software, Victor would give Phyllis control of Jabot when he acquired the company. However, in true Victor fashion, he double-crossed Phyllis. As it turns out, Victor didn't need Phyllis or the AI software to take down Jabot. Victor pulled another page out of his playbook by running a hit piece on Jabot's shutdown. Since Victor didn't need Phyllis' help, he rescinded their deal. Not only is Phyllis out of a job, but she's also earning everyone's wrath as they learn about her dealings with Victor. But all is not lost for Phyllis when her ex-boyfriend, Billy Jason Thompson, makes her an offer. Billy's offer might have something to do with Abbott Communications. At one point, Phyllis was going to join Abbott Communications. However, after she and Billy butted heads, Phyllis was fired. But after the recent turn of events, Billy may be ready to welcome Phyllis at Abbott Communications. Is there a catch? Phyllis is desperate to get back into the business world, and Billy's offer could be just what she needs. However, Phyllis might not want to pop the champagne cork just yet. There are a few things that could hinder her new job. The first is Billy's mother and Abbott Communications financial backer, Jill Jess Walton. Jill has final say in all decisions, and she might be displeased with the idea of Phyllis coming on board. Then there's also the possibility that Billy wants something from Phyllis. The only way to save Jabot is to get the AI software, and Phyllis is the one who can get it. If Phyllis wants a job with Abbott Communications, she'll have to prove her loyalty. By retrieving the AI software, Phyllis can redeem herself and also get revenge on Victor. But will she end up being double-crossed for the second time? Subscribe our channel for more latest update on The Young and the Restless. Second chances are rarely simple, and they're never free. Few characters embody that truth more than Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers. Both are brilliant, reckless, emotionally driven, and haunted by past mistakes that refuse to stay buried. That shared chaos is exactly why the idea of Billy giving Phyllis a second chance doesn't feel far-fetched. It feels inevitable. But if it happens, it won't be a fairy tale reunion. It will be a calculated risk rooted in understanding, accountability, and the recognition that sometimes the most broken people see each other most clearly. Billy Abbott, a man who understands. Ruined Billy has spent much of his adult life being judged by the worst versions of himself, from impulsive decisions to destructive relationships. He knows what it's like to be written off as unreliable, dangerous, or incapable of change. That lived experience matters when considering how he views Phyllis. Unlike others in Genoa City who see Phyllis as manipulative or toxic, Billy understands something deeper: survival instinct. He recognizes that Phyllis doesn't scheme for sport, she schemes because she believes she has to. Billy's own history of lashing out when he feels cornered makes him uniquely equipped to recognize when someone is acting out of fear rather than malice. That empathy doesn't excuse Phyllis's mistakes, but it gives Billy a perspective few others share. Phyllis Summers. More than her worst choices, Phyllis has become one of the most polarizing figures on Y&R, and that's no accident. She operates in moral gray areas, often prioritizing control and self-preservation over trust and transparency. But beneath that sharp exterior is a woman who desperately wants to be chosen, not as a weapon or a pawn, but as a partner. The problem is that Phyllis often sabotages the very stability she claims to want. She aligns with dangerous allies, hides critical truths, and reacts emotionally instead of strategically. Those patterns have cost her credibility, relationships, and chances at redemption. A second chance from Billy wouldn't magically erase those issues, but it could offer something she rarely gets: someone who sees her complexity without immediately condemning her. Why Billy, not anyone else? What sets Billy apart is that he doesn't approach relationships from a place of moral superiority. He knows he's flawed. He knows he's failed. That humility changes the power dynamic. If Jack were to offer Phyllis forgiveness, it would come with expectations she could never fully meet. If Victor were to extend trust, it would be transactional. Billy, however, operates from emotional truth. He understands that growth isn't linear and that people can regress before they improve. That understanding could create the space Phyllis needs to actually change rather than simply pretend she has the conditions that would make a second chance work out. Second chance wouldn't be unconditional, nor should it be. For Billy to truly give Phyllis another shot, romantic or otherwise, certain boundaries would need to be established. First, Phyllis would have to take accountability without deflection, no reframing her actions as necessary, no blaming others for her choices. Billy can handle messy truth, but he can't build anything on denial. Second, Billy would need to approach the relationship from a place of stability, not rescue. If he tries to save Phyllis, he'll only recreate the same destructive cycle he's been trapped in before. This second chance can't be about fixing each other, it has to be about walking alongside one another. Finally, both would need to accept that trust will be rebuilt slowly. Instant forgiveness would cheapen the story and undermine the growth both characters have fought for. The emotional payoff for Billy, giving Phyllis a second chance wouldn't just be about romance, it would be about redefining who he is. Too often, Billy's narrative revolves around self-destruction followed by regret. Choosing to trust Phyllis thoughtfully, with eyes wide open, would signal real maturity. It would show that Billy isn't repeating old patterns blindly, but making conscious, informed choices even when they're risky. That evolution could finally move him out of the shadow of being the screw-up abbot and into a role defined by emotional intelligence rather than impulsivity. The stakes for Phyllis. This second chance could be her last real opportunity at redemption in Genoa City. Not because she's out of options, but because she's running out of people willing to believe she can change. Billy offering her another chance wouldn't be a guarantee of success, it would be a challenge. A challenge to show up honestly, to resist old instincts, and to prove that she's capable of growth without manipulation. That kind of pressure could either break her or finally push her to become the woman she's always claimed to be. Why this storyline matters. Now timing is everything, and this storyline feels particularly relevant now, with alliances shifting and long-standing grudges resurfacing. Y&R is clearly exploring themes of accountability, legacy, and emotional reckoning. Billy and Phyllis represent two characters standing at crossroads, deciding whether to repeat the past or rewrite it. A second chance between them wouldn't just be fan service. It would be a thematic statement. It would say that growth is possible, but only if it's earned. Final thoughts. A risk worth taking. Billy giving Phyllis a second chance wouldn't be safe. It wouldn't be easy, and it wouldn't come without consequences. But that's exactly why it works. Y&R has always thrived on stories where love and risk are intertwined. If Billy chooses to believe in Phyllis again, not blindly, but intentionally, could lead to one of the most emotionally layered arcs the show has seen in years. And whether it ends in redemption or heartbreak, one thing is certain. It would be honest, in Genoa City. That kind of truth is rerand, always worth the risk.